Oh my gosh, 83 notifications? Oh, wait, we're recording. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this workshop on finding peace amidst the chaos. I'm Nisha from Mindtree, and I want to start by acknowledging you for taking this time for yourself. We all have busy, often overloaded lives, so the fact that you have carved out this moment, not just for yourself, but for everyone in your life, everyone that you touch. It really matters. And self care has this beautiful ripple effect. And when you feel more peaceful, it radiates out to your family, to your friends, to your coworkers, and even to strangers. So I just wanted to acknowledge you all. So, when I was originally putting this workshop together, I had a list of over 20 different tips for bringing a little bit more peace into your lives. And then I realized that that just would be way too long for us today. And I wanted to give you all something that felt doable, that didn't feel overwhelming. So, what I did for today is I have picked just 5 simple practical tools that you can start using right away. And these are not escaping your life. This is not about escaping your life at all, but this is about learning how to really be in your life without feeling consumed by it. So, this workshop, it actually grew out of a poll that I did on Instagram. And I asked people what they wanted more of in their lives right now. I thought that I might hear things like love or success or happiness, but the overwhelming top answer was peace. And, it actually makes perfect sense. Between our personal stresses and the constant stream of global news, all the time we're being bombarded by media, it can really feel like the world is on fire. So even finding small moments of calm, it's really essential for all of us. It's not a luxury. So yeah, I want to offer this reframe for you all. Finding peace is not a luxury, okay? It is absolutely essential for all of us. So, today I'm going to share 5 simple tools that you can start using right away. And they're not about escaping your life, but they're actually about learning how to be in your life without feeling consumed by it. So, before we begin, since this is pre recorded, we won't have the live interaction that we normally have in my workshops. So, I want to encourage you to just minimize your distractions, really take this time out for yourself. Close whatever other tabs you may have open on your computer, silence your phone. And I'm talking to you, multitaskers. I see you guys. You know exactly who you are. Just give yourself this gift of presence, just for this half hour. Also, full disclosure, one of the things that is sort of a little bit annoying to me is when I am watching an informational video and at the end of it, it just ends up feeling sales pitchy. They're either selling their product or their services. And if I'm not aware of that's what's going on, it can be really annoying. So, full disclosure, I am going to mention some of the services at the end that I offer at Mindtree, but please know that my intention for you all is just to be able to take away whatever pieces of advice you can, whatever tips you can, to share them with others. And then if we go even deeper and get to work with each other more personally, then that would be wonderful. So one of my favorite pieces of advice I think that I've received about learning is, when you're listening, listen as if you'll be teaching this to someone else, it deeply changes the way that you absorb the information. So keep that in mind as you're listening to me today. And I do want to encourage you to pause the recording whenever you need to. Really participate in some of the things. Again, this is just half an hour, less than half an hour actually, of your time today. So really make use of it. Knowledge is nothing without action. And you'll probably hear me say that a few times, but definitely try and participate fully in this workshop. So let's get started. So, my first tip for you all is to move your body. So, let's start by literally getting out of our heads and just know that when you are moving your body, even if it's a simple stretch or a quick walk around the room, so you feel free to do that. Feel free to pause this recording, take a quick walk around the room. It changes our physiology, it changes our energy, and it releases those beautiful endorphins, which are our body's natural mood boosters, and it breaks up the stagnant energy. So do it now with me, okay? Just even if you're just stretching your arms, shaking your shoulders, shaking your head, shrugging your shoulder. I look really silly right now. I realize I look pretty silly, but that's okay. Whatever you need to do to just move. If you want added benefit to this, if you can get outside in nature has this beautiful grounding effect. So get outside, walk barefoot on grass if you can, touch some trees. Not only will you be giving yourself the benefit of moving your body, but you'll also be grounding even further by connecting with nature. So when we release these endorphins, like I said, it breaks up that stagnant energy, and it actually gives a signal to your brain that you are not stuck. Okay, so go ahead, if you haven't already, go ahead and try it now. Stand, stretch, overhead, whatever you need to do. And then just notice if you feel any shifts in your energy after doing that. Okay, you all ready for tip number 2? Before we do this, I want you to go ahead and give yourself a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. How calm are you feeling right now? Where 1 is the least calm and 10 is the most calm. So 10 is like you're feeling super zen. So go ahead and give yourself that rating. How calm are you feeling right now? Got it? Okay. So tip number 2 is to practice some deep breathing, but to exhale for longer than you inhale. And this calms our nervous system. This is a great technique that you can use either preventatively on a regular basis or proactively. Say you're feeling a little bit angsty, during your day, and you just have a few minutes, you're in the middle of work or doing whatever. This is just a great technique that you can use to help calm your nervous system a little bit. So now that we moved a bit from tip number 1, let's go ahead and find a comfortable position and let's just settle into the breath. Most of us breathe shallowly, especially when we're staring at the screens all day long. And what this does is this is actually sending less oxygen to the brain, and we begin to feel tired. If you remember back during the pandemic when we were all on Zoom, we used to call it Zoom fatigue because you would literally start to feel tired. Well, these days it feels like screens are everywhere, whether it's our computer, whether it's our phones, even our cars. Our cars have screens. So we are constantly looking at the screens. So this is a great technique to give yourself that little break. It also, what it does when you exhale for longer than you inhale is it automatically shifts your nervous system from fight or flight mode, the sympathetic nervous system, over to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for resting and digesting. So most of us during the day when we are awake, most of our day is spent in fight or flight mode. It's spent in that sympathetic nervous system. So this is a great technique that you can practice to help yourself activate that vagus nerve and shift into the parasympathetic nervous system. All right, so I want you to go ahead and try this with me. So find that comfortable position, hopefully with your back supported and your head free to move. If you want, you can close your eyes or you can simply lower your gaze, whatever feels more comfortable. And you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathing in through your nose for 2 seconds. And now breathing out through your mouth for 4 seconds. Breathing in for 2. And now out for 4. Again, breathe in for 2. And out for 4. This time, breathe in for 3. And now out for 6. Let's try it one more time, really filling up that belly for 4 seconds. Nice and slow, letting go for 8. Now you can just breathe naturally, allowing the breath to breathe itself. And if your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and open them. So how did that feel? Go ahead and just check in with yourself. And earlier you gave yourselves a rating. So go ahead and give yourself a rating now. Again, on a scale of 1 to 10, how calm are you feeling? 1 is the least calm, 10 is the most calm. And just see if you've noticed any changes. And if there's no change at all, that's fine too. But it's just a fun little exercise to see how you're feeling. And like I said, this is a great thing that you can do either on a regular basis, say first thing when you wake up or last thing before you go to bed, or you can do it in the moment when you're feeling like you need it, when you need that little bit of a break. All right, you all ready for tip number 3? So tip number 3 is grounding through our 5 different senses. And this is actually a favorite quick mindfulness tool that I like to use. It really helps to anchor you in the present moment, to anchor you in the here and now. And it just pulls you out of all of those crazy racing thoughts that are going on, all of that mind chatter that's going on. So once again, practice this with me. So what you're going to do first is you're going to find 5 things that you can see. So go ahead, take a look around your room, pick 5 things that you can see. And then you're going to pick 4 things that you can hear. Sometimes this takes a little bit of concentration or practice. So go ahead and maybe listen to what's outside, listen to what's like in the background. Maybe there's some background noise. Pick 4 things that you can hear. And now you're going to pick 3 things that you can feel. So it could be your clothes, your chair, maybe your feet on the ground. It could even be like an internal sensation. So what are 3 things that you can feel? And now you're going to pick 2 things that you can smell. So go ahead, take a deep inhale. What do you smell? Could be something that's just lightly there also. And then now the last thing you're going to do is you're going to pick 1 thing that you can taste. It could be the last thing that you ate or drank. Could even just be maybe some acidity that's lingering on your tongue. So it's 1 thing that you can taste. And just notice how by concentrating and bringing your attention to those 5 senses, it really it widens your awareness beyond all that mind chatter, all of your thoughts. Okay, you ready for tip number 4? All right, so tip number 4 is going to require you to either grab some paper and a pen, or you can use your phone, your notes app. or your computer. And what you're going to do is you're going to, when you're doing this on your own, you're going to set a timer for 5 minutes, or you could just watch a clock, and you're going to do a brain dump. Yes, you're going to dump your brain. No, what you're going to do is you are going to release write. So you are going to write out whatever thoughts are on your mind. And now that your mind and your body feel a little bit calmer from our first 3 tips, go ahead. I'm going to encourage you all to pause this recording and actually do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to write as if, it doesn't matter what you write, basically. Nobody is going to be reading this. You're not even going to read this. You're going to write it out and then you're going to throw it away. You're literally just emptying out whatever's on your mind. Remember, it's not for anyone else to read, so don't worry about like grammar or vocabulary or handwriting. I will say that I do like doing it with a pen and paper. There's something about the energy of actually writing things out that feels even more of a release than actually typing it. But it's really just, it's a personal preference. So don't worry for my overthinkers out there who are overanalyzing everything and like worried about getting it right. Even if you write, and I do this sometimes, like I don't know why I'm doing this, but I know it helps. Even if you write those words out, that's totally fine too. So the simple act of putting thoughts on paper, it just lightens our mental load. So go ahead and pause this recording now and try it. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you paused the recording and you tried doing the brain dump. And just once again, check in with yourself, see how you're feeling, see if you've noticed anything. And for those of you that love to do, hopefully you didn't use it as a to-do list and you literally just did that brain dump. Okay, you guys ready for tip number 5? Now, tip number 5 is, I've saved this one for the last because it's the most disruptive. I know a lot of you are not going to like to hear this, but just trust me on this and just give it a try. Give it a try for a day, a week, a month, whatever. Just give it a try. So tip number 5 is to keep your phone out of your bedroom. All right. So do not look at your phone right before you go to bed. Do not look at it first thing in the morning when you wake up. And when I give people this little tip, most of the time they say, well, I can't do that because I use my phone as an alarm. Well, guess what? You can still keep it in your bedroom if you want. Just keep it like on the other side of the room or somewhere, as long as it's not within arm's reach. Go ahead and try it. Our phones, they just flood us with notifications and the blue light and endless content, and it raises our cortisol levels and it disrupts our sleep cycle. So try this out and see how you feel. It's really, the phone is really, it's stealing the deep rest that our brain and our body so desperately need. So my invitation to you all is you can still use your phone as an alarm if you want, but just keep it out of arm's reach, okay? Keep it across the room or keep it even in another space. And like I said, try not to make it the last thing that you see at night or the first thing that you look at in the morning. And just, give this gift to yourself to just protect that delicate transition. It really does set the emotional tone for your day. Okay, so thank you all for hanging out with me and making it this far. So just to recap, our 5 ways to find peace amidst the chaos. And, I want to note that these are simple stress reduction techniques, and finding true peace can go a lot deeper than this. And I'll bring that up again a little later on. But just to recap for you all, the 5 different ways So, in the moment, number one was moving your body. And like I said, if you can get outside, and connect with nature and move your body, that's even better. Another thing with moving your body, I forgot to mention, for those of you that love to organize, that love to, fix things in your surrounding, that's a great way to move your body as well. And like removing clutter from your desk, or emptying out your drawers and rearranging things. It's a great way to clear the energy around you as well, and to help settle the mind. So that's another great way to move your body. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. But our 5 tips: moving your body was number one. Number two was to do the deep breathing. So breathing for and exhaling for longer than you inhale. You can double it. That's an easy way to think of it. Tip number 3 was grounding through our 5 different senses. Tip number 4 was the brain dump. So, just for 5 minutes, writing out whatever literally is on your mind. And then the 5th tip was keeping the phone out of the bedroom. I know it's going to probably be the least popular, but it is very, very impactful. And so I recommend at least trying it. So, those are the 5 tips for today. And, I realize that this isn't new information, right? You may be like, Nisha, I already know all of this. But what I'd like to offer to you all is, like I said in the beginning, knowledge is nothing without action. There's a reason why you may not be doing these things. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But if you're not, there may be a reason why you're not. Life gets in the way, mindset gets in the way, our memories get in the way. There are so many different reasons why we sometimes get stuck and we forget. So, what I'd like to offer to you all is to just use this as a reminder. And like I said before, share it with somebody else. If you already know it, share it with somebody else, and hopefully they'll benefit from it. Okay, so thank you all for making it this far with me and allowing me to share these 5 simple tips with you. And like I said at the beginning, if you're listening with the intent of teaching it to someone else, that's wonderful. You can also just share this video with them. Please help spread the word and share it with, even if you're a parent, sharing it with your kids. There is no such thing as the perfect age to learn stress reduction. Literally, from the time we are born, we are constantly being bombarded by different stresses in life. So even for the little ones, these are great tips that you can share with them. All right. So if you have found this helpful and you want to go deeper, I would love to support you. So for those of you that may not know, I'm a mindful life coach and I'm a meditation teacher, and I help clients navigate through different life transitions. So they may be going through, say, a change in their career. They may even be starting a new business. They may be dealing with a new health diagnosis. They may be going through a relationship change. And what I do is I help them build sustainable inner peace. So it's not just the quick stress fixes. These different tips that we've gone over today are great. They're wonderful to do. But sometimes we need more, right? Sometimes we need to go a little bit deeper in order to make it sustainable. And that's what I do with my clients. So I work with clients individually. I also have several groups that I run. I have a divorce support group that I run for South Asian women. I have a mastermind group that I run, my Shine group, where we discuss different personal development topics. From time to time, I've run book clubs before, and I have different meditation groups. And also, if you have a group of people that may be friends or family members, colleagues, if you have a group of people that you would like to get together on a regular basis and discuss some deep topics, not your typical party party talk. If you would like to do that, I would love to support you and help you coordinate that. So all of my prices and services are all listed, I believe, in full transparency. So everything is listed on my website, mindtreat.com. That's MYNDTREAT.com. And I do offer that intro call, so you can easily book it there. And we can, we talk about how I may be able to support you. And if what I share, if it resonates with you, please do feel free to reach out. And if not, that's okay too. Feel free to share these tips with someone who might need them. Peace is contagious. It's contagious in the best way. So please help spread it. All right. So I would like to offer you all a closing affirmation. And actually, I'm going to give you one more tip. I'm going to give you one more tip. And literally, this takes a second. And that is simply placing your hands over your heart. And what this does is it gives a beautiful signal to the brain to release some oxytocin. And oxytocin is responsible for, it's a feel-good chemical. It's responsible for love and for deep joy and peace. So go ahead and place your hands on your heart. And if you want, you can repeat after me, either in your mind or out loud, this beautiful affirmation. I give myself permission to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to welcome peace into my life. Thank you so much. Truly, I'm grateful to all of you for being here with me and for taking this time out. And I hope to see some of you individually in the future. And if not, I hope to see some of you online. Take care.